This route begins in Chioggia on the southern end of the Venetian Lagoon. A 5-kilometer vaporetto ride crosses to Pellestrina for a 9.4-kilometer bike ride, which connects to a second ferry bound for Al-Biruni, followed by a 12.5-kilometer ride to the final ferry to Venice Tronchetto. Chioggia is like a mini Venice. Its canals bisect the island, providing functional waterways for the fishing fleet that harvests seafood from the Adriatic Sea. Their catch ends up at the historic fish market, a former school that is now a center point for Chioggia's economy, where over 20 fishmongers display their daily catch. There is a single wide central street, Corso di Popola, which runs the length of the island from north to south, and unlike neighboring Venice, where bicycles are not allowed, bicycles are a primary mode of transportation here. Chioggia has 2 museums, several interesting churches, and colorful attractions. If you're here during the Festival of Fishes in July, join the crowd of locals and tourists for an assortment of seafood dinner delights. The entire main street is lined with outside dining at bargain prices. It doesn't get any fresher than this. At 8 a.m., we make an early start and ride from our hotel along a canal to Corso di Popola and straight to the port. The ticket office opens to a group already queuing to purchase tickets and await the first ferry ride of the day. This vaporetto is for passengers and bikes only, and somehow we all managed to fit on board and bid a fond farewell to lovely little Chioggia. In less than half an hour, we arrive in Pellestrina. There we have 2 options: either ride the main road up the island along with the buses and cars and past the massive 18th century Murazi seawall along the way, or take a more scenic route, mostly along the water's edge. We opted for the scenic route. The next ferry is larger and carries pedestrians, cycles, and motor vehicles. The crossing to Al-Biruni on the island of Lido de Venezia takes only about a quarter hour. Leaving Al-Biruni, we ride on a pleasant highway along the water's edge. After Malamocco, there is a wide shoulder that takes us to Lido proper, where there is a dedicated bicycle path next to the main highway that goes past the beach resorts and circumnavigates the Lido town center with its famous casino. After a considerable stretch along the Lido Strip, we reach this rather confusing roundabout. This sign to the ferry terminal says to go straight ahead. Don't do it. You need to go to the ticket office first, then to the ferry. Turn toward the west and you'll end up at the terminal building. After buying our tickets, we still need to ride another 1,200 meters to the northern end of the island. The ferry is large with a capacity for many cars and passengers and of course bikes. The Tranchetto ferry takes less than an hour for the crossing and gives you a fantastic view of Venice on the approach before landing at the Tranchetto landing. After all the cars offload, we make our way from the ferry past the people mover transport and directly to the hectic Piazzale Roma, where buses and autos are busy dispersing passengers. Piazzale Roma is where we had arranged to drop our rental bikes. From this point, motorized vehicles and bicycles are not allowed in Venice proper. And there's a very good reason. Venice is built on 117 small islands and has some 150 canals and 409 bridges, not exactly bicycle friendly. So either you board a Vaporetto boat or you're on foot. We recommend at least a few days on foot to really get to know and explore Venice. It's easy to get lost on the maze of canals and bridges. The best tip is not to be in a hurry and go where your feet take you: museums, shops, restaurants. High among the must-see places are San Marco Square and the nearby Doge's Palace, as well as the famous Bridge of Sighs. A Vaporetto ride on the Grand Canal should also be at the top of your list. Also enjoy the food. After all the cycling and walking, you deserve it.